Welcome Research 1 Statistics for Psychology students. This is the first video in a series that will guide you through the requirements of the final project. This first video is a brief overview of the final project as a whole. You will be putting together the milestones, the pieces of this final project throughout the term, and the final deliverable will be a 4 to 5 page statistical analysis report. There's a ton of guidance in the form of rubrics for each milestone, data files, and even a final project template that will assist you in navigating through this project. Taking a bird's eye view of the final project here in Module 1 can seem a little intimidating, but bear in mind that you have the entire term to work on the pieces of this project. Therefore, don't get discouraged if it seems a little intimidating at first. Early on, you will choose a scenario from a given set. This is provided for you in the PSY 223 Scenarios and Datasets document. As you can see, there's a scenario that aligns with each of the 6 concentrations. You should choose the one that most closely connects to your selected concentration. This scenario and dataset document, along with the final project rubric and milestone rubrics and other guiding documents, can be found in the Assignment Guidelines and Rubrics folder within Brightspace. Once you've decided on a scenario, you will apply the statistical analysis skills you've learned throughout the course. You're going to interpret the data, you're going to write up a report, and keep in mind that you're not evaluated only on the computations and computing the information successfully, but also on your rationale, your explanation of decisions, and your interpretation of the data. Ideally, you will demonstrate mastery of these course outcomes. I'm not going to read them to you, but you will see as you look through the rubric that these outcomes are tied directly to the critical elements of the assignment rubric. In order to access the document that I just showed you, the Scenarios and Data Sets document, you can either go to the Rubrics folder or click the link within the rubric. You can access the data, the Excel files that are provided for you, by clicking the link within the rubric, which will automatically start a download of these files. And if you look down here, you'll see a breakdown of the critical elements within the rubric. Some of these terms, for example, standard deviation, histogram, they may be unfamiliar to you at this time. But as you move through the course, pay particular attention to them. You'll learn more about these, and you'll be able to apply them to your final project, your statistical analysis report. These criteria will be addressed further in upcoming videos. A simple overview of each of the 3 milestones is provided here. Milestone 1 is due in Module 2, and this requires you to focus on the APA ethical principles. You will address each of these numbered criteria in your write-up and get you started on the final project. I want to point out that for each of the milestones, you'll read here that the milestone worksheets should be used to complete each of the milestones. This is very important. You may be asking, where do you find the milestone worksheets? Well, I'm going to jump to the first milestone guidelines and rubric document. As you see here, you'll see links once again to the Scenarios and Datasets document, the Excel files. You'll also see a link here to the Milestone 1 worksheet, which is a Word document. And just as an example, this is what it looks like. There's more guidance provided here for completion of each milestone within the worksheet. So make sure that you're using these to help you as you develop each of the milestones. You're given numbered criteria that needs to be addressed for each of the prompts, and these align with the final project rubric. Be sure that you complete this with ample detail. You want to be as specific as possible in academic settings, and in this course, your statistical analysis report is no exception. So back to the final project guidelines and rubric document. You'll see the 2 other milestones. What method will you use? You'll select a method. You're going to discuss sample size, what test you're going to use, what statistical procedure. Explain your rationale for these decisions within the Milestone 2 worksheet. Be sure to support those decisions as well with scholarly sources. Note here the calculations for Milestone 2 are not to be completed until the final project is submitted, but you'll work on the first part of that. Milestone 3, hypothesizing. You're going to once again use the Milestone 3 worksheet. You're going to discuss the null hypothesis, the alternative hypothesis, and discuss your understanding of these terms in relation to your selected scenario. In Module 7, you're going to submit your completed statistical analysis report. Here you will add Section 2, Criterion C to F, the critical elements for data analysis. You're also going to include Section 4, the results, and Section 5, conclusion. That being said, here's an overview of the deliverables, the module they're due, how they are graded, and the entire final project rubric with each critical element that is included within the milestones and some that are not. Be sure to follow this when completing the final project. This is what will be used to assess your submissions throughout the term. If you have any questions while working on any component of the final project, be sure to reach out to your instructor.